Hello and welcome to War of the Stars, a Star Wars Roundtable podcast. My name is Mark Tolly, and we are coming to you, as always, from deep within the Outer Rim, far beyond the watchful eyes of the Galactic Empire. Joining me today is Christina Tally.
How's everyone doing?
And visiting us, taking a little sabbatical from the Forest Moon of Endor, is Mario Hernandez. Mario, how are things over in Ewok territory?
It's not as fun as I thought. The tourist guide said, the locals are pretty nice, but then they try to eat me, so that wasn't very nice of them.
Did you take a protocol droid with you? I hear they really worship those things.
Only if they're golden.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, today's going to be a bit of a short episode. So I thought our main thing we would talk about today, though, is the big news, obvious big news, that we're getting an Obi Wan movie.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is, of course, the news came out the other day, official, that the next movie after Episode 9 will be Obi Wan Kenobi.
Which is awesome as long as they have Ewan McGregor as
Yes.
Obi Wan.
I agree. I don't think there's anyone else who can play it.
No, not at this point. Like we said before we went on air, even at this point, even us who, I know I grew up, maybe not so much you, Mario, but I know myself, I know John. We all grew up with the original trilogy. We all grew up with these movies. When Episode 1 came out, we were old enough to be super excited about it and, save up money to go see it or whatever. But as the whole thing progressed, now even us, we see Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan even more than Alec Guinness.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
anyone else to play that role, I think would not be a good move on Disney's part.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think, we're assuming the fact that it's going to take place between Episode 3 and 4. Nothing's, like they said in the report, it's very early stages of production. They don't have a script, which I think is a kind of a lie. I'm pretty sure they have form of a story or script or an idea of where they want to go with this story. They're not just going to, spitball it as they go. And it's not that far away. If we actually think about it, it's 3 years away. So they have to have some kind of ideas of what they want already.
I don't know if they may not have a full script, but they at least have a storyboard probably and general idea. And like I was saying off the air, is it wouldn't make sense for them to do a young Obi-Wan, because they can do the de-aging thing, they've done it before, but it's very computerized still, and it's still in its infancy as far as that. So it's easier to age somebody just a little bit. You can just add a little bit of gray hair to Ewan McGregor, a few wrinkles, and with makeup, and boom, you have Obi-Wan.
Yeah, a little bit of latex goes a long way with wrinkles.
And it depends on how far after Episode 3 this takes place. Does this take place closer to Episode 4, or will this take place somewhere in the middle? Or somewhere closer to Episode 3, right after? So you have like you have 19 years to play with.
This is true.
For age for Obi-Wan. And to find out why did he choose the name Ben? Of all the names he could for his his alias, why did he choose Ben? Why did he do all this stuff? Why did he what happened between him and Lars? That Lars, almost didn't want Luke to have anything to do with Obi-Wan. What was the story behind there? There's so many questions and so many, stories you can tell with Obi-Wan that it's very.
I have a feeling that good part of why Lars didn't want Luke to have anything to do with Obi-Wan is because of what happened to Anakin. He may not know the whole story what happened to Anakin, but maybe he thought he was protecting Luke from possibly going down the same path and being killed or
Yeah.
turned into a well done rib.
Yeah. Yeah. So then the
Yeah,
next question is, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say pretty much the same thing, and even in the Marvel comic series, they touch on some parts of Obi Wan, what he was doing between episode 3 and 4, and I'm not sure if you guys have read it yet, the main Star Wars comic. So basically,
I've looked at a few of them. Yeah.
oh yeah, so basically at the end of one of them, it's Obi Wan. He tries to go pretty much to talk to Luke, right? And then Owen pretty much confronts him and says, "No, I don't want you going next to Luke. Stay away from him. Don't come near us. Stay away from us. You can watch him from a distance, but don't come close and don't try to make him know who you are. I don't want him to have nothing to do with you." So that would be interesting to see, especially we see the returning actors from episode 3. I think we should see them.
Oh yeah, even the Lars for Baru and Owen would be awesome to see them again. Because, I mean, they did a really good job, even though they had small roles. They had a great job casting people who you could kind of associate with the older Owen and Baru we saw in episode 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would think it would be a very smart idea for them to keep that casting going.
I agree. So then I think the next question is who the main antagonist will be. If there is one, is it the Empire? Is it the Hutts? Is it bounty hunters?
I think it'd be kind of cool to see some of the background bounty hunters show up.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be a kind of a cool thing, because I was sure after Order 66, they had a feeling that there were some Jedis left. There's no way they couldn't have known. And very well Vader himself would not step foot on Tatooine.
Someone on Facebook... sorry. Someone on Facebook mentioned something that I think would be interesting to have for a main antagonist to have Aura Singh.
That would be interesting. I think that was Chris actually that said that.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting to have her, because I think everyone's going to say the obvious choices of like Boba Fett or something like that, but to have one of the, like you said, one of the background bounty hunters, one of the ones that doesn't get a lot of screen time, but something like that to kind of give their story,
someone like
more.
IG-88 or Dengar.
Yeah.
I mean, Dengar himself, like, that's not a very well-known character. IG-88 is not very well known in the main movies. Bosk even, the Trandoshan. None of those are really well known. In fact, most people don't even know who they thought they were just some random characters they threw together to make, to have an assembly, but they actually have stories behind them. They have names. They have personalities. It'll be kind of interesting to see these. That, and of course, we've got to have some Tusken Raiders. We've got to have some confrontation with Tusken Raiders.
Yeah. I'd like to see more of, like, with the Tusken Raiders of, like, even if it's just, like, a few scenes of more of their culture and how they lived and who they, how they came, not necessarily how they came to be, but just how, their culture and how they felt.
I want to see Fort Tusken. That's actually what I want to see. I would love to see Fort Tusken. Fort Tusken was the, I guess, human settlement that fell to the Tusken Raiders, and they made it their home base. I would like to see that. That's what I would really be entertained to see, would be that.
Yeah.
I mean, going off the whole bounty hunter thing, if they were to do that, of course, I instantly think of Cad Bane, because we never got that storyline and never got finished in the Clone Wars. So to me, that would be the ideal choice for me. Seeing Cad Bane come back and fight Obi Wan, but then again, you run into problems where, continuity and what is he doing there and all this other stuff. And then a big question is, will Obi Wan use the Force? Because we saw in Ahsoka, she didn't use the Force because she was hiding. So would Obi Wan use it? And would he use a lightsaber? Those are two big questions that we would have.
Oh, yeah, that is a good question. I mean, we saw him use the Force a little bit in Episode 4. He used a Jedi mind trick, and when he pulled out the lightsaber, no one in the cantina really raised that much of an eyebrow. So that gives me to believe that he already was somewhat well known on Mos Eisley, in Mos Eisley.
Oh, I'm sure he was. He already knew where to go to find the ship.
Yeah.
I mean,
He had a
that's not. You're
reputation.
not just. I mean, Luke had no idea. Luke lived on Tatooine his whole life.
Yeah.
So if he knew, he obviously has been there before, and he's probably used that same. He's probably done the same thing before, where he's hired pilots to take him where he needs to go. So it is very possible that he's left Tatooine on several occasions, and that's why he knew he could find a pilot exactly in that cantina in Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been seeing some rumors that, even on Jedi Council, there Christian Harloff. He's pretty much just saying that Vader should be the villain in this movie. Saying that in Episode 6, where where Vader tells Luke, Obi Wan once thought the same as you did, and pretty much saying that Obi Wan once thought that Vader could have been pulled back to the light, but we have never seen that, at least yet in canon. So that's his pretty much that maybe they had some kind of confrontation before Episode 4. What do you guys think about that?
No, because that'll break the continuity storyline.
Yeah, he did try to bring him back to the light in Episode 3, and during his fight, he gives him ample opportunity to get turned back to the light, and he doesn't. So I think just leaving it how it is and having that final the confrontation between them on the Death Star to be that final confrontation, to be the only other confrontation between those two. I think having Vader in it is just, I think it's just, and I love Vader. I mean, look, I'm wearing a Vader shirt, but just because it's Star Wars doesn't mean you have to have Darth Vader and everything.
Well, also, just to bring up this point as well, if you bring in Darth Vader, and this happens before Episode 4, which you would have to, because obviously Obi-Wan dies in Episode 4, it would bring up a major continuity issue with what Darth Vader says when he faces Obi-Wan. He says, last time we met, I was a student, but now I am the master.
Master, yeah.
Yeah, which he said that, so a student, obviously, because he was still a Padawan because he didn't have his master title of Jedi.
Yeah.
When he's officially turned into Darth Vader, and now he is a Sith Lord. So there's no, if they brought him in, like they could probably have him like as the same capacity as say Rogue One. I would be okay with that, where you see a couple scenes of him standing on a bridge of a Star Destroyer, talking about trying to find Obi-Wan. And, maybe talking to, like, Cad Bane, or talk to a different bounty hunter, or bounty hunter we don't know, because chances are they're probably going to get killed anyway. So, talking to someone like that to tell them, listen, this is who, like, kind of like the same kind of replay of Episode 5 when he hired the bounty hunters.
Yeah. I would rather have more of a, if you're going to do the bounty hunter, where is just have Vader be almost like in the back, like you never see him, you just hear about him. Like you hear the bounty hunters talk about their boss and who, you even call him like the boss wants us to do. And then you find out through just how they talk of who the boss is, that the boss is, in this point, is Vader.
I think it'd be kind of cool too to see an early Vader. If we do put an early Vader, the Vader hasn't figured, like they have in the comic books, where he hasn't figured out how to navigate his suit yet, how to operate in his suit. So he'd be very stiff, very, almost very labored when moving, because he's not used to the suit, and that would be why he can't go after Obi-Wan himself, because he hasn't adapted to wearing this big, clunky, heavy suit that he now has to wear to have him stay alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I always said this is what I'm campaigning for the villain. I wanted to see either an Inquisitor, but the reason I don't really agree with that is just because the Inquisitors are, to me, kind of throwaway villains. They happen anytime. You just bring them in, and then they just get kicked out, killed off to the side. But I say bring in a past Jedi who was hiding from Order 66, and then Vader finds him, and then he tells them, okay, you can either join my new group of Inquisitors, or I'm gonna kill you. And then we can have this runaway Jedi pretty much join him, and then have some kind of dynamic. That's at least what I think for the villain.
Yeah.
Was that
I kind of
fun?
agree. Hey, that's a Ewok village. I'm surprised the Nub Nub song isn't playing in the background.
Maybe that's the techno version of Nub Nub song.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, I think one of the next questions is, and someone at work actually brought this up, is when do they stop? How many more movies do we have? Do they stop after Obi Wan, or
They
do
won't
they keep
stop.
going?
They won't stop until they stop making money.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, it's the same MO you see every time in any major franchise. Oh, we just made okay, cool. We made 26 million off of this movie, and it cost us 5 million. So this is a good movie. Okay, so let's do another one. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. And you know something? I'm all for it right now.
Yeah.
Until they start getting bad, I'm all for it for the pure reason that it extends the universe. You know,
Mhm.
that now we have an Obi Wan movie, we have a Han Solo movie, we have more cinematic background for those characters.
Yeah.
As they keep moving forward with it, like Rogue One. I loved Rogue One for the pure reason that it followed but did not follow the classic Star Wars storyline. It did not
Mhm.
follow a Skywalker. It followed a completely different offshoot. I mean, remember, there's more to the Skywalkers in the Rebel Alliance and in the Imperial
Yeah.
and the Empire. There is more than that, and the whole thing is the whole movie's kind of centric around the Skywalkers, and I kind of like these offshoot movies that center around other
Other
aspects,
people.
other
Yeah.
events, because there's a lot of events in the Star Wars universe. There has to be.
Yeah.
Even like take out all the EU stuff. Take all that, throw it in the trash because like what Disney did. I mean, okay, even now, there's no way the Battle of Yavin was the only major battle, or the Battle of Endor. Those two were the only major
Yeah.
battles. There's tons of battles in a war, and they were fighting for a long time. So,
Well, I like to see, and I can't remember what the book series was or the comic series, but I like to see them do a movie about what happened between Yavin and Hoth. I think during the old EU was the time when Zizor was at its height, but that time period, do a movie about what's going on with the rebellion and the Empire during that time period.
oh, I agree fully, especially because there's a major question in Episode 5. What happened that made the rebels flee their home base on Yavin and start running like they did? Because they were on the run. By the time they were on Hoth, if you remember, they were on the run because they already were at several different planets at that point. They were kind of hopping from stronghold
Well,
to stronghold.
if you think about it, it would make sense because, like, they destroyed the Death Star. The first thing that's going to happen is they're going to leave. The rebels are going to leave because, like, okay, they know where we're at now. They're going to come, and the Empire is going to come in force because they know where they're at. They know, they know what's up. So it's the minute they destroyed that Death Star, probably even before they destroyed that Death Star, the minute it exploded, they did their celebration. They probably hightailed it out of there.
Yeah, packed everything up and left. But
You probably had people when they were doing the big ceremony. You probably had people outside that were getting everything packed up, ready to go. So the minute they ended, minute Chewie didn't get his medal, they packed up and left.
yeah, that's by the way, I'm just gonna say for the record, that was really shitty of them. Excuse my language, but that really was. How did Chewie not get a medal?
Well, we don't know if it may have been under the fur.
No, but still, how did Chewie not get a medal? It's like
I know. No, I don't know.
Furry lives matter too, people.
I actually think
Wookiee
they
lives
fixed
matter.
that in one of the comic books. I'm not sure because Brian's not here, but I think they explain pretty much that Wookiees don't believe in like materialistic type rewards for doing acts of heroism. So I think he denied the thing, and then I think they still gave it to him because in the Chewie comic book, if I remember correctly, he gives the medal to this girl. I'm not exactly sure because that comic book was a waste of time, but
is it even
yeah,
canon anymore?
Yeah, it is. It was
Okay.
like a 4-issue run just of Chewbacca, pretty much growling the whole time.
That's like the Christmas special. Just nothing but Nothing but Wookiees and no subtitles whatsoever.
Oh, come
Just
on. Let's not take out the grand. Was it Lumpy? No, Lumpy was the child. The
Yeah.
granddad who was like watching pretty much the equivalent to Star Wars porn when they walked in.
yeah.
Like, let's just be honest here. Like that show was so bad. Like, you almost gotta love it. Almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm sorry to say, I used to use it as a form of punishment to my kids, like around Christmas time. Like, I swear, if you guys misbehave, I'm putting on the Star Wars Christmas special. Because they've already seen it, so I already know what was in store. Because they already fell for that trick once.
Get it right. It's Life Day.
You know what's funny, though? That's not canon right now, but that's still a huge thing in any, in the Star Wars universe, is Life Day still.
Yeah.
Like, if no other aspect of the holiday special survives, Life Day probably will.
We should start a campaign to make the holiday special canon.
Oh, God. I would rather see the Ewok movies become canon before.
Oh.
I'm actually surprised. Speaking of that, just to go a little bit off subject, I'm really surprised to see the 2 Ewok movies that were produced in the 80s that, after Return of the Jedi, are not canon anymore. That I found kind of really interesting. That's something that probably should be brought back into canon because it doesn't affect anything else in the universe. It's just the stories of the Ewoks, obviously after, I think it was actually before the Rebels made it to Endor and everything else, when it was still just a quiet, abandoned moon, because you had the battle for Endor, and I can't remember what the other one is. Shoot.
I don't remember.
I have the movies, too. That's the sad part. But they should be brought back into canon, because I don't think it makes that much difference into, like, the rest of the, universe, but it'll be nice to have those movies back into the canon status.
Yeah.
Speaking on the whole holiday special, making it canon, in one of the books, I believe it's Life That, they mentioned that Chewie has a son, Lumper. I can never pronounce his name.
Lumpy.
But yeah, but pretty much they said that he has a family, so you never know.
Yeah.
Maybe
I know it's Lumpy. Nala is his wife. I just can't remember the name of the grandfather. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the grandfather, but I know Nala was his wife, and Lumpy, it's actually like Lumbaka or something like that was his son, but it's actually, everyone just called him Lumpy.
Anyway, so next question is, what's after Obi Wan? Like we've already talked about doing a movie about the stuff that happened between episode 4 and 5. Any other particular characters that you would be interested in seeing a standalone movie on?
Well, there's been talk of the Boba Fett movie, but however, I would prefer to see, yes and no, because I'd prefer to see, there's a book, it's EU now, it's called Tales of the Bounty Hunters.
Yeah.
I would love to see an adaptation of that where it tells different stories of pretty much all the main bounty hunters from episode 5. Like different stories of those. I think it'd be kind of interesting to see that.
Yeah.
And give some more depth to those, once again, those background characters that have absolutely no knowledge for anyone outside of, the basic 7 movies. And it'll also give people a tolerable Boba Fett movie where it's not just Boba Fett for 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Speaking of bounty hunters, I don't know if you guys ever played I believe it was called Bounty Hunter for PS2. Like pretty much your main character was Jango Fett. I would love to see that actually.
That would be kind of interesting. I know the game. I played it on PC.
Yeah. What about I know I've heard back and forth, and I kind of go back and forth with it too with the Yoda movie.
No, because Yoda's mysterious, and Yoda needs to stay mysterious.
Yeah, but the thing I think with Yoda is because Yoda is so old, you have a lot of time period that you can still go back and do, like when he's 600 years old, and still have that mystery. You can do something from, the old the Republic era, and still have that kind of mysteriousness about him.
I would actually like to see a Satele Shan movie.
Mm-hmm.
Or Revan. Like I've said this before, Revan.
Yeah.
Revan is an awesome character. It's an amazing storyline that can be adapted very easily without much modification. Revan should be like, seriously, we know so much about this era. Let's do some Old Republic stuff. Old Republic is a thing. I mean, it wouldn't be that bad to bring that into canon.
Yeah, I think it would be good to do a Revan movie because, I mean, there's still the talk of wanting to do a Old Republic TV series, to do a tie-in movie to lead into Old Republic TV series, to do a Revan movie, maybe even if it's a Netflix movie to lead into a series, to do a Revan movie to go into a Old Republic TV series.
Oh, I agree fully.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay, I've heard this too, and because the site that broke this was the Hollywood Reporter, and they said that there was multiple spin-off movies in the works. And again, all because it's in the works doesn't mean it's going to happen. Movies always get in pre-production, but a lot of them get canceled. And
Yeah.
of course, it was the Kenobi movie, it was the Yoda movie, the Boba Fett movie, and a Jabba the Hutt movie. What do you guys think about that, exploring the criminal underworld of Star Wars?
I don't think anyone cares enough to watch a movie about giant oversized slugs.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if they do it more of a mafia style, like a Star Wars mafia style movie, that might be interesting. Where Jabba's in it, but he's maybe not the main character. But to do more of the underbelly, more of the smugglers, that kind of that side of it. So. Well, guys, my phone is actually about to die here, so we're gonna wrap this. I think we'll wrap this up right now and call this a show. Again, thank you all for watching, and remember to like and subscribe down there. Check out all the shows on Realm of the Mist, and until next time, may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you always.
Always.